I've been trying to do videos for so long now. I've had one of probably the craziest weeks in terms of just finding time to just sit and talk to a camera. That's how tricky my life is right now. But I'm hoping I can do 15-minute videos to discuss what's been going on with my life. I don't know what I want to talk about. It's really ridiculous. Usually I just hit record and I just go, right, that's it, let's start talking about this. Okay, let's talk about the one thing I want to express first, because the one thing I've been waiting for in order to do these videos is to finish off my reviews for Australian Survivor. And oh my god, it's like, so they're doing 3 episodes per week in Australia, because obviously Survivor is 55 days, 50 days, over 24 contestants have to be voted out. So it's a long series, and they have to do it over more days and more time slots during the week. So I want to review episodes 3 and 4 at the same time, because episode 5 I have still not got here in the UK. I have been scraping all my links to find it online, to give me I'm on YouTube, and no one seems to have this episode 5, so I'm just waiting for this episode 5. Because of that, I was waiting to watch that before doing the whole thing. But anyway, let's talk about episode 3. So quickly, let's recap episode 3 and 4 together, because episode 3 and 4, spoilers obviously if you haven't seen it yet, we have 2 back-to-back tribal councils where the champions go to tribal. Contenders whip their asses in three out of the 4 challenges. And before we move any further, just to let you guys know, I am clothed enough today, but I told you someone was going to get naked at some point. But in respect of people who are a little bit more sensitive to a Richard Hatch appropriation moment, I've kept my clothes on. But John Boy, good man. That's how you play the game. So John taking his clothes off, grabbing a sea cucumber from the ocean, and then that scene that was things seeping out. Let's just not go there, because it was so obviously phallically like, what on earth are you doing? But anyway, so contenders win the first reward challenge. They then, and then John gets to dish out reward items. Then there is the immunity challenge, which involves throwing. It's like an assault course, getting sandbags off in a big thing, and then tossing them up onto holding platforms. Which again, Andy, king of the jungle in this game, and sort of wins. But the big thing with this episode 3 is the flip vote from the Sport 7, which is going to then the outside of 4. So Luke, David, Pia, and Joanne. Yeah, Boost Lady, Joanne. Why does it sound really weird in the head? Then it doesn't sound right to me. Anyway, so we all saw that Tribal Council, and unfortunately, from the beginning of the editing of the episode 3, we could tell that it was going to happen, because just the way in which it was introduced meant that at some point there was going to be a flip. Someone was going to happen, and the flip happened, and we ended up seeing Nova go home. I am reading that right, yes? Why am I feeling like I'm missing someone? No, it's not Nova going home yet, because the flip vote was for Susie going home. And it was played very well. Tribal Council was literally set well. Right people they're pitching about champions being winners. Champions have to own their mistakes of that. There was arguments on both sides. But anyway, the power minority of 4 played Abby and Ron. Again, I'm getting names confused. While on Tribal Council, and they edited it from the beginning to the end that we knew it was going to be a blindside, because it was like Susie. It was like one, and then it was the final vote. So that power shifts then to the Luke David alliance. So therefore they have the majority in the next episode. So Susie goes home, which is the right move to make, and she wasn't getting a great edit, and she wasn't playing the game well enough. You could see that she was trying much of a counsel, but nothing she was saying was making everyone convinced that she should stay. Okay, so episode 4. Let's talk about the reward challenge, and let's talk about Sarah. Okay, let's think Survivor US Season 34 Game Changers. Cirie Fields, that reward challenge at the post-merge. Was it merge or was it... It was a post-merge reward. And I think it was post-merge. Anyway, it was a challenge where Cirie had to compete for a reward. She was on this balance beam. She was not strong enough in the water. You could tell the game was getting to her for physically. She had to compete, but she wasn't able to get herself out of the sea and onto a platform. And then she kept falling off the this little beam yet to cross with balance. And the other team had won, but you could tell that she was really exhausted. She was trying to do it. She was crying, very emotional. And even after the challenge was over, Jeff Probst was like, Cirie, you're the woman who got off the couch. We will wait. If you want to finish this part of the game and you're part of it, we will wait for you, because this is something that I think you need to do for yourself. And it was a very touching moment, and it was like her entire tribe went out after her. This is why Game Changers was such a great season, because it was a season of favourites, and this is why season 40 is going to be fucking good. Anyway, sorry, excuse my French. Let's flip now to Sarah, the woman who survived the Boxing Day tsunami. And it was very similar to that, and I thought, okay, they're playing it really well. Based on the editing from the last episode, I really thought the editing was going to give Sarah a heroic storyline where she was going to do it, and she was going to jump. And I was so adamant it was going to happen. But it really just, she froze. It was just a blatant one of the things. You could see that, obviously, Cirie wanted to do this, and she got through it, and she was helped by her tribe, and she made it through, and that was her own personal victory. And the flip side, obviously, what Sarah went through is something that none of us will be able to really ever know, unless it's something that's PTSD or stress or the fear of something that follows you wherever. People who have soldiers who've been at war, people who have had near-drowning, near-death experiences, it follows you the entire life. You go through years of therapy to try and figure out, overcome those boundaries or those whispers in your head that goes, you can't do it, don't do it. And she tried several times. She was literally ready to go and run and jump, and then she stopped. Something inside of her stopped, and there is that fear where I don't think, like, maybe if she stays another few weeks, she may end up getting a chance to do this again. Maybe they're setting it up for another episode for her to do something better now. And I hope, Sarah, if you're watching this, I'm hoping that you'll get this moment, because your story spoke to me from the very beginning, and I really hope that you will get a chance, a redemption moment to overcome this challenge, which I think, because you're a hero in my book, someone who can survive that, a true survivor, I hope there is a chance for you to tell your story and prove to yourself there's a moment in the game for you to have that. So I'm hoping this will happen for you. So my heart goes out to you. So contenders unfortunately lose that challenge, which is a valiant loss, because the champions win that, and then the champions, they get a clue to an idol that they have to give. Obviously, steal also John from the reward, which is valiant to bring John rather than bring Sarah, because I think Sarah didn't do it, so therefore Sarah should get the reward. Fair enough, valid, correct. And so then we go immunity challenge, champions lose again, and there's this massive breakdown, this argument between Chris, Nova, and then Abby and Pia that happens in the water. And even after watch it back again, because I didn't really listen to how the wording was placed, and it's amazing what one word can be interpreted by 3 or 4 different people, and it's amazing how strong-minded and how, I would say, bullying-esque a word can harm your game. It is something that could be turned and interpreted, and also if it was played, if you were played for that exact reason where a word was used out of context. Let's think blue collar, white collar, no collar. Let's think Shireen versus Will, and let's think about how Mike's defense to Shireen and how it was played in that way. It's someone's attitude that takes their respect from the game, and an opportunity has arisen for that reason. I don't think it changed the vote. It played it so everyone thought they were voting for Chris, and it was I think the right move to take out Nova, but I still believe that those opportunities. David wants to stir up trouble, fine, and Luke's happy for him to do that because Luke then can be king of the jungle, baby. Way. But anyway, so episode 5 I haven't watched yet. There's something to do with the idol that it's found by Joanne, and apparently David ends up with it. I don't know yet. I have got to see the episode and see how it's all folded out, and I'll do a quick video afterwards. But I'm hoping we'll do another season, episode 6 or 8. At some point there's going to be a tribe swap. I can feel it happening. I don't know if we're going to go for... If it goes to 6 episodes and 6 people voted out, down to 18, and we could then go from 2 tribes to 3 tribes, which could be fun to watch. I think that'd be quite good to have, because I think that'll be an opportunity for all players to play the game properly. It's a favourite of mine, from 2 to 3. But we don't know. But at some point there's going to be a tribe swap, and they would do it probably usually around when there's 18 people left in the game. So let's see what happens, shall we? So, it's 12 minutes, so I'm almost there. Not too bad, halfway between. Guys, I'll post another video soon with regards to Survivor episode 5, and hopefully I might do it 5 and 6 together when it returns onto our screens again in a few days. Bye!